Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, this is going to be just a really short and sweet divine masculine check-in. So let's do this. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel with only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the twin collective that joins me here. What can we see for the divine masculines? How are the divine masculines thinking about the connection with their divine counterpart? How are they feeling on the heart space? What are they wishing at this time? What is the action being taken? Ooh, my cards just fell in 3 different piles. So there's 3 different actions that 3 groups of masculines are taking, or a 3-part plan that the divine masculines are undergoing right now. Actually feeling just to pull 3 cards to figure out what that was. That was remarkable to me as a reader. Those kind of cues talk to me, and so I'm just gonna get the 3 topics right now, the actions being taken. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we got Page of Cups. This is about using words wisely, I'm hearing. Speaking authentic, genuine, heartfelt things out to others. Not keeping those things under wraps, not holding those things back, not being afraid of being non-masculine or not masculine enough, by saying the gentle, sweet, affirming, complimentary, kind, insightful, supportive things. The reading I just uploaded, there was a theme about intimacy and about not holding back our truth for fear it would be sexualized. So there's also that coming through here. So one of the modes the divine masculines are in with action is to be just more genuine with how they really feel about what's going on, what's arising, what's playing out, the energy that they can discern within scenarios, between people, twin or otherwise, you know, co-workers, family, karmics, all of it. Being sincere, genuine, authentic. And this King of Wands came out. So in the reverse, this is an empowerment thing. So the more these genuine assertions are allowed to just become commonplace for the masculines, this masculine glow up, the King of Wands. We hear of the glow up with the Queen of Wands stepping into their empowerment. And that is no different here. This King of Wands coming into the enlightened empowerment, the torchbearer energy through earning it in action and in deed. So divine masculines have this plan to become more authentically aligned, represent their truth more authentically in a genuine way, which steps them into the leadership role of this diplomat under heaven in a new way. And this, as was just shown in the previous reading, has to do with platonic and a myriad of non-platonic potential connections. So this is all the soul and the heart stuff here. Divine masculines are becoming impeccable. They are continuing to work this energetic, specialized puzzle of dynamics and relationship across the board. It's not just the counterpart, the twin flame, that these journeys affect. The twin flame becomes this accountability buddy that helps permeate all other, and it becomes an inspiration for all other connections, and that's what changes the world. It's not just the counterparts, it's community, it's family, it's co-workers, it's everything. It's our societies. So divine masculines are making these deliberate, conscious changes to be more fully themselves. And then we have the world and the devil. So these both are cards of the 3D, but one in the inverse and one in the upright. There's a fine line. There is a sophisticated fine line of what is appropriate, what is sincere, what is balanced ego, tempered, free from ulterior, negative, low vibrational motive. This is highly compassionate, highly conscious. It's walking the line. It is being impeccable. This is perfection templates, divinely guided navigation. So it's a 3-part. It's literally in the mundane, the details, which becomes a way of life, which changes and influences the world by example. Okay, so that is a 3-part process that was coming through for the masculine's actions. Let's continue though. Then I'm going to get into the challenge, the solution, and the direction. Oh yeah, and let's shuffle this for what the feminines can further know who may be watching the reading. So on the conscious mind, what is the divine masculine collective thinking of the connection? 3 of Wands and the Daughter of Pentacles. So they're keeping open to what will come, this torch bearing, this becoming. They've put down these other 2 options I just heard, and they're going forward. It's like a walking stick, 1 foot in front of the other towards the future. There's forward motion here, and it's all based on kindness. What is the kindest thing they can do for themselves in any given moment? We have to fill up our own bucket to be able to share with a glad heart, with a full heart, to come into union with others. And so they're learning on the fly what truly honoring their own knowing is in practical terms, and therefore also being able to take what comes to them in stride, because there's always this knowing that they can hold their own, that they can handle it with compassion. So the forward motion can come in now. It's no longer running, avoiding, dismissing. There's that stick to itness energy here, and it doesn't have to be hard. It's simple, 1 step at a time, 1 bridge, crossing 1 bridge as they come at a time, all of that. And I'm being told this is the rainbow bridge that we're crossing into mastery, maturity, being able to be in the present moment and handle whatever comes without fear, because we've laid the groundwork of trusting ourselves, of knowing ourselves, of connecting to source, of setting those energetic priorities straight. Not everyone is doing this, but those who are doing this regarding relationships are the twin flame specialists. There are many different orders of masters becoming on the planet. We are just the ones doing it through relationship. And so divine masculines want you to know that they're not running anymore. There's this stay to itness. They found their truth and they're sticking to it. That's what I just heard. And so if you align, or if anyone aligns or not, that is the impeccable standard now. We saw this in yesterday's reading, was it? That the divine masculines are not afraid to be on their own anymore, this uncharted territory, and to now not put up with the BS from karmic situations, or to stay in things that are unhappy for fear of being alone, no longer willing to just do things that are convenient. And this Page of Pentacles, that's a child, so no longer doing things for what they thought was right for the children or were told was right for the children. It's now what actually might be. the better thing, even if ego would have said it wasn't appropriate in the past. I'm hearing for some this can be a legal card, and so there are some concessions the divine masculines are making regarding children right now because of legal matters. They're no longer thinking in certain egotistical ways. They're actually putting the children first, not what ego would say. Wow, that is a beautiful message. Okay, what are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space? 6 of Swords and anxiety, 9 of Swords, both in the reverse. So inverse, this is a real deep heart surgery. Divine masculines are taking and uprooting their anxiety. They're finding progress. Anxiety is a descriptor. It's an energetic descriptor that indicates a very big out of alignment energy. It's a huge piece of the alignment pie missing, basically, whether it's the wrong thoughts we're telling ourselves and cycling on, or a lie that's grown into its own cosmology. There's something that the thoughts, the swords represent the mind, the thoughts, got way off track, and divine masculines are figuring it out and resolving the equation. Yeah, it's not about the 3D anymore. We've got my card of the 3D in the reverse, in the inverse as well. They're dropping in, they're seeing the energy, they're seeing the patterns that exist beneath the surface. It's not all about the allopathic or the surface assessment, the symptoms. It's more of the root causes, the underlying, the deeper. Yeah, so on the heart space, something here. I'm being told to pull a clarifier. How does the divine feminine factor in? What has the divine feminine assisted? Sometimes life stings, sing your own song, co-create with spirit, time to heal, and the abundant universe will provide. So there's something about divine feminines showing their independence, their uniqueness, their connection to source, their own healing journey. Divine feminines, you've demonstrated that there is no lack in the universe, and your divine masculine has taken encouragement from that. They have seen exemplified through you and watching you maneuver through this life. They have seen you surfing the energetic currents, and it has tipped them off to those things in their own life. Beautiful. Okay, what is the divine masculine wish at this time? To lay a new foundation and to let go of the past, to come out of feeling that all was lost. This was one of the major eclipse clearing energies, where divine masculines realized they weren't the bad guy for not having come forward sooner. It was all part of the journey, all part of that grand becoming. And now that they've seen that, now that they've seen the divine timing, they're wanting to lay a foundation, a new level of foundation. So there are lots of ways to do this. The 7 of Cups, it can represent confusion, brain fog, too many options. So there are so many different modes, ways this could play out right now. So there's this grace. Divine feminines, just utilize total surrender right now, because your divine masculine has got this. They will figure out what the path of least resistance will be. I just heard for them at this time. Divine feminines are meant to invention. Looks like Albert Einstein. So, this has got a 24, and I was just told 2 years, 24 months. So there's something here, divine feminines, it came out in the reverse. There's something that you're halfway through those passion projects. Stay focused on your own innovations, your own inventions. the things that you're being shown, because your divine masculine has got their side of the energy. You are continuing to be asked to just keep focusing on what you're meant to be channeling through into this dimension. Don't worry so much about your divine masculine like swooping in and making all the difference in your life. Keep doing the things you know you're meant to be bringing into the world right now, because that's your side of the energy. If you don't do that, you're not going to be ready when your divine masculine is ready. Spoiler alert though, and I know people like it when I whisper, but it works together. It won't come together unless you both do it. And so that's what it looks like from the flip side. Keep focusing on you, divine feminines. Keep bringing that wisdom through, and divine masculines are doing their due diligence, and just let them have it. As the divine feminines, you will know, it will cross over naturally when it's time. And if it's not, no news is good news. Okay, what can we see for the actions for the masculines at this time? Oh yes, Ace of Swords, the truth about the friendship here, about the camaraderie, about the compatibility. There's so much admiration right now. About how the divine feminines have solved it and figured it out and are being very amicable, not karmic, in response to the divine masculine's energies. I just heard that when the divine feminines were learning many of these lessons, the divine masculines were ultra, uber sensitive to the mood swings and the volatility of the feminine, that the feminine's emotional kinetic energy was a force to be reckoned with through the 5D for the masculines, and they had to run because it was so supernova intense. The divine masculines are now realizing that when they tap into that same emotionality and they are reconciling those things, that because you've gone through it already, you are amicable, you are saintly, you are striding with it, you are surfing it, and they admire the heck out of you, divine feminine, because they were not strong enough when you went through it to do what you're doing for them. This is some mega recognition right now from the divine masculines for the divine feminines, because they see you as truly having embodied grace, the divine feminine way. I'm feeling they are in awe. You are the most mighty creature under heaven. You are galactic divine feminines. This is why you're the portal keepers. This is why you're the gatekeepers of spirit into physical. Divine feminines, and your divine masculine understands those attributes now that make you awesome. Wow. And why you hold the power of life and death, why they no longer need to be afraid of you. You have shown them time and time again that you will not cut their heads off, that you will not reciprocate an eye for an eye, that you are compassion in action, and that you have never really ever been that guy that was scary, actually. Even when they thought that you would be, you handled yourself with noble grace, I just heard. Oh, okay, so we have, where are we at? Actions. What's the biggest challenge at this time? King of Wands, clarified by the King of Wands, stepping into divine masculinity. Just completely stepping into it. Inner and outer worlds converging, I just heard. That's the challenge. It's that full embodiment, acceptance of impeccability. Oh, I didn't get a clarifier for this last one. It was the sinking in of this truth that you're not scary. Okay, clarifier for King of Wands, clarifying King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, laying this foundation of impeccable inner outer worlds converging. That's the challenge. What's the solution for this challenge? Four of Wands, union and mastering the free will. So this is, union ready energy. It's coming into understanding what this has all been for. There is no cause for union if not spiritual purpose, energetic mastery, and purpose. Without a deeper understanding of what the soul is calling us to do in this kind of leadership, in this kind of embodiment, there's no reason to come into union with a person. There's no reason to do that unless we want to become a super being, like a next level molecule joining forces like that. There's no reason to refine ourselves to such an impeccable place regarding relationship to merge unless we're meant to take things to a whole new level. And that's what this exponential awesome in the masculine's own right is bringing them into. It's this soul purpose, soul mission that does really bring the wands. I'm being shown that this is the inner outer, the two wands, the inner torch and the outer torch, the inner light and that light into the world. That makes up the two of wands here, the 11, and the feminine matches with that same mirroring on the soul level for the other 11. And it's this free will choice. It's how to continue to uphold this impeccable soul knowing, inner and outer, through the free will, through assessing, am I looking at this situation in the highest? What is the most appropriate way to navigate it? That does not mean it isn't fun. When we are being that sincere, it can be way more fun than if we're just kind of weak energy or blah. If we know our truth, if we know thyself and to thine own self are true, oof, amazing. We bring that in. Yes, more wands, more impassioned energy. This is the sacred, sexual, passionate new ignition into the physical. This is the torch in hand and in spirit, in the core. This is beautiful. So this is about utilizing the free will to take that empowerment, it's like the Olympic torch and the baton, and pass it on by being that light in the world, the exponential light. So these unions really are triumphant because they are a moment of glory. I just heard of overcoming. Glory really is when we overcome something. We get that crown of enlightenment, the crown of glory. Our crown chakra ignites and we get that halo. We've overcome when our light, when our torch is lit, we glow from a mile away. And when two people, counterparts, both come into that level of an awareness, they know a thing or two that can be beneficial to humanity. And that export of light quotient into the world through the love is something else. The innovation, all of it. When we are in that heightened appreciation, when we really can appreciate, when two people can mutually appreciate, that's the genius frequency. That's the what really matters frequency. And that's why it's so mega powerhouse with innovation and joy and contribution into the world, is because it's generating so much high frequency stuff. So yeah, this is a torch being lit. What is the direction of the connection? Wow, 9 of coins and unconditional love, sovereignty, autonomy, holding one's own, and being able to contribute and match. Page of Wands, continuing to carry that torch. There's that spiritual, energetic, conscious awareness in all things, in this wholeness, the ownership of self, and then this unconditional love, being able to take or leave things based on discernment, based on flow. This is that 360-degree understanding of what is for us in every moment. So divine masculines, I'm just feeling to tell divine feminines who aren't sure if your divine masculine is going to understand how to keep themselves free from being bound into other situations. For those of you that know you're in a twin flame journey and worried that your divine masculine is getting distracted by a karmic situation, that they aren't mature enough or they're being tricked, please don't discredit them that much. Just know they are going through this understanding of energy and they are holding their own. So no matter what it looks like in the 3D, love gives that benefit of the doubt and knows and believes on that deep, deep level that everybody is accountable for themselves, and we're all learning the inner workings of this stuff. If you are truly on a twin flame journey, your divine counterpart is holding their own no matter what it looks like on the surface. Don't lose hope that they aren't going to get it. Really beautiful. Okay, let's see what we can for those ones. For the divine feminines watching. We get this and that are true. To each their own. Let your divine counterpart go through all of their lessons. It does not mean that you're unlovable. It does not mean that they haven't seen the love for you. Let everything be true and valid right now and focus on the things that you're needing to focus on, divine feminines, because it's all exactly the way it's supposed to be right now. Wouldn't the world be a lovely place if we all just totally accepted what everybody wanted to do and we all trusted each other and ourselves and we were just like, have at it, let's have fun, let's just get along and see what amazing things we can do. And we never took offense, and we understood that if somebody made a decision, it was really because that's what their heart was telling them to do, and that it wasn't really meant to be taken poorly from us, and that there were so many things that we each could do because we were so creative that it didn't bother us anyways. I don't know, seems pretty cool. Let's see what else we can for the divine masculines. Humans are in the habit of labeling things and making things seem very, very right and wrong. And a lot of times there's a little bit more gray area to be playfully had than not. Okay, divine masculines. Wow, take time out. So have you been working too hard? Have you been trying to push the river, force transformation? This is reminding me that even bears hibernate. They completely shut off. Much better at it than human beings. But you are being asked to take a time out, divine masculines, to clear your head. There's something that you've been hanging on to or wishful thinking, something that you've been overlooking, that if you just take a time out and step back from, you'll see it in a totally different way. Or maybe you already know, divine masculines, and it's just a matter of laying down the law and making that change. Even if you can't quite put your finger on whatever this is, it is going to come to light. There is going to be something illuminate to you, divine masculines, that might not feel good, but it will be better in the long run for you to know what it actually is. There are seasons, but there's something that has been hidden. Just like things, I'm just seeing a bear hibernating and things going on outside of the cave that the bear would be totally unaware of. That's the kind of thing. There's something going on for some divine masculines right now that they are totally oblivious, that you're totally oblivious to, that wouldn't necessarily feel good if you knew what it was. But you're being protected and it will come to light. So if something comes up in the near future, divine masculines, it's a blessing in disguise that you're seeing it for what it is right now. It's going to be a chance for you to understand how protected you were I'm hearing it could have gone south for a bunch of you and that you've been protected. So when these inconvenient things come to light, I don't usually get these kind of heavy messages, but there is something for many in the collective where it wouldn't be coming through. It's a purging, it's a cleansing, it's a transformation. It's part of you having been on this journey of transformation. You're no longer a fit for the shisty, shady, low vibe stuff that was playing out around you that you were oblivious to because of your sweetheart. You didn't quite see it that way. You didn't want to see it that way, but I'm hearing greedy. There was some greedy people around, some divine masculines. So there's something going on there. Overcome any obstacle, give with gratitude and grace. So these are both in the reverse. So there's something about your results not being returned to you. You've been overgiving. I'm hearing some of you divine masculines were taken advantage of. There's something in accounting. There's something in business. There's something in the sidelines that wasn't playing out honorably. And you weren't seeing results because something was being pilfered. Oops. Be here now. You can get where you're going when this comes to light, divine masculines. Yes, sweet results await. You don't want to be connected with those energies anymore, divine masculines. And not only will they not just be around your periphery, but you just won't even have them in your vicinity anymore. So the divine is telling me to say out loud, divine masculines, there was a time when you were more connected consciously with things that weren't on the up and up. Then you went through a period of purification where you were oblivious to some certain people because you wanted to see the best in others, still functioning on those shady templates. You were kind of on the periphery of it. And now you're being removed even one step further to where it won't even be a hidden threat, that you will no longer even be in that dimension with others. That's how sweet. The land of milk and honey, I just heard. You're coming into that promise. Your energy speaks for it. You're rising up through the dimensions, divine masculines. And so the things, the energetic alignments that you've been connected with can no longer tether you to that low vibe stuff anymore. So when it comes to light, it's like the major human collective purging. Those things need to be seen, to be healed, to be eradicated. Likewise, whatever this is, unveiling through the masculine collective, your standards have been the reason these things can no longer be hidden in your vicinity. And you will not be in groups of people where any of the people are conducting themselves in these ways any longer. And be generous of spirit. So you were being generous. Don't allow this to jade you. There will come a time. Oh, here's the liger and the lions and tigers. Oh my, this Lionsgate energy. So this Lionsgate portal is purging. It's helping you, divine masculines, see the wolves in sheep's clothing around you, and it will give way to you being able to be this lion heart in the world. But in the past, it was taken advantage of, and that is no more, I'm hearing. I just heard 37 days from now, you will know. Mark your calendars, divine masculines. Within 37 days, I just heard, you will see what this wolf in sheep's clothing energy was. Okay, many blessings. That was an intense message. I don't usually get like that, but everybody, I love you so much. Bye for now.